From time to time, I get asked some form of this question. Hi, I just inherited a stamp collection. What should I do? Firstly, sorry for your loss. There's no need to rush into making a decision, and if you can afford taking up the space for a while, look to storing it safely until you are ready to make that decision. Keeping it safe means keeping it away from potential water damage, or from getting eaten by moths and other paper-loving creatures. Store it in cool, dry places so that humidity does not affect it. So don't place it in your basement, your attic, garage, outside tool shed. You get the point. For any stamp albums, keep them upright. Don't store them on top of each other because pressure can make some stamps stick to the album. Now, when you're ready to make a decision, the number one thing that will help to decide on the best way to move forward will be figuring out how much the stamp collection is worth. But I hope to not disappoint you because the answer is probably not a lot. There are many reasons why your loved one may have collected stamps. It's educational, a fun way to pass time. It's therapeutic, it's exciting, it's challenging, and it can be an investment. So unless the collector was purchasing high-value stamps as an investment, then your collection is probably not worth much value. But don't be discouraged from watching the rest of this video. So how do we determine how much your collection is worth? Firstly, it's possible that the collector left instructions. If they were a serious philatelist, they may have left guidance on how to move forward with an inventory list and maybe even an appraisal. Oh, a philatelist is what we call ourselves. Philately is the study of postage stamps. Look for receipts like these. They would have a listing of the prices that the collector paid. There may also be an insurance policy or maybe an inventory list. You may not even realize that there is an inventory list because it's a scribbling of numbers that look like this. These are catalog numbers, and you can find the appropriate catalog in the reference section of some libraries. Catalogs such as the Scott catalogs list and value every stamp ever issued. If you are going to refer to catalog values, just keep this in mind. Catalogs list an aspirational price for the dealer. So if the dealer had a perfect stamp, one that was in great condition, and with a number of other factors including the watermark, postmark, how well scented it is, and much more, then maybe the dealer could sell it for that price. Also, the dealer will have to purchase the stamp from you at a lower price than what they could sell it at for a profit. And there's a level of risk associated with purchasing stamps from you. You're not a reputable dealer. So there is a rule of thumb out there that you should probably assume less than 10% of the value that a catalog lists. One of the things you could do is get advice from dealers. Look for and contact dealers near you. If you are located in the United States, the American Philatelic Society provides an online list of reputable dealers. If you are located in the UK, the Philatelic Traders Society provides an online list of dealers. Both of those links are in the description of this video. If you are located anywhere else, look up what society or association may be in your country and contact them for further information on dealers. If you do contact a dealer, they may initially ask you to send some photos to them just so they can get an understanding of what type of collection you have. But more likely you can arrange for an appointment with them where you can take your stamp collection to them and then they can give you the advice as well as what they would be willing to pay for it. Just remember to take the entirety of your stamp collection and not what you think is a small sample of the more valuable stamps to them because they have a much better eye for identifying what is and is not valuable. Also, make it clear that this is not an appraisal. Those get charged by the hour. You're just looking to understand what somebody would be willing to pay for your collection. If your collection is fairly large, they may be willing to travel out to you, but maybe for a cost. Also, there are stamp shows. They are organized by philatelic clubs and societies. You can meet dealers there and discuss your collection with them. Contact clubs and societies in your area to find out when the next one is. And I've made a couple of videos where I visit stamp shows. Check them out for an idea of what to expect when visiting one. I have linked them in the description below. Just don't feel pressure to sell the collection to any one of them immediately. In general, they are fair and unlikely to rip you off, but I always recommend getting the opinion of 2 or maybe 3 dealers before making a decision. Also, you could request for an appraisal, but it's not really necessary unless it's for legal reasons, and it doesn't even guarantee that you'll be able to sell the stamps for the prices given. Just make sure you discuss the costs of the appraisal up front. In general, if the collection looks to be a mix of stamps from countries all over the world, mostly issued after 1960, and not stored in any elaborate way, it's probably not worth much. If you do see lots of old stamps, it still doesn't mean it's worth much. Value depends on so much more, and it's the rarest stamps that have the value. But I cannot insist that this is always the case, because there are true stories of amazing finds hidden in attics. So now that you may have an understanding of what your collection is worth, let's run through some options on what you can do with it. First option is to keep it and become a philatelist. There's so much to enjoy and experience with stamp collecting. It's a brilliant hobby to pick up and enjoy. I've made a channel on YouTube dedicated to the history, thrill, excitement, and fascination of stamp collecting. Check out my videos, watch the playlists, and I'm certain that you'll consider taking part in the exciting world of philately. If you're not looking to keep the stamps and they're of insignificant value, consider giving them to a friend or family member that collects stamps, or even to an organization. The American Philatelic Society accepts donations, and they're a non-for-profit organization, so you can claim a tax deduction from them. If you're in the UK, you can donate to Oxfam Great Britain. They accept stamps. This is great because it puts the stamps back in circulation and ultimately helps them find a new home. Another option, if they're still of insignificant value, is to make something from them. This could be something that is displayed in your home and a way to remember the loved one by. You can make it yourself or send your stamps to an artist who will work with you to create something beautiful. I've made a video about stamp art where I visited stamp artists such as Suzanne from Art Stamped and explored the world of stamp art. That video link, as well as the contact info for Art Stamped, is in the description below. If you are looking to sell your stamps, you could do it in a number of ways. Firstly, you could sell the stamps yourself on a platform such as eBay. This takes a tremendous amount of effort, especially if you're going to list the stamps individually. You'll need to research the stamp and its value, and it will take a long time to sell the collection off. But warning, you may actually fall in love with philately as a result of doing that and not want to sell your collection off after all. You may also want to break up your stamps in bulk and sell them that way instead of individually, but I recommend seeking out the advice from a dealer before doing that. You could sell your stamps directly to a dealer for what they offer. This is the quickest way to receive payment. You may have more interest in seeing how they sell their stamps and arrange for portions of your collection to be purchased by different dealers. For example, a dealer that specializes in South American stamps would be more interested in, well, your South American stamps. So you would sell them those and then break up the rest of your collection to sell to other dealers. If you truly have something of high value, maybe a public auction is the best way to proceed, as long as it's well publicized. Collectors receive a catalog with a picture of the stamp and are able to bid on it. Keep in mind though that public auctions can take 3 months or more before payment is received. Whatever you choose to do, make sure you consult with your family before acting. Oftentimes, these stamp collections have more sentimental value than financial value, and never feel pressured to sell the collection. Take your time. I hope you found this video helpful. I'll put a number of other useful links in the description below. Thank you for watching, and good luck.